Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. This afternoon's topic is going to be it's a question from a subscriber, and it's going to be how to stop missing the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. So I'm going to jump right into it. This topic probably hasn't been done before, at least not to my recollection, and it's a tricky and difficult question to address, but I'm going to do my best to do so. So when you were with a narcissist for any period of time, let's be real, most likely you experienced the love bomb stage, and you were tricked and you were duped, and you fell in love with somebody who actually wasn't in love with you. You see, all that time and all the energy and love and all the empathy you put into the relationship, thinking it was a healthy relationship, it wasn't. And we know that now because we now understand what narcissism is and the narcissistic abusive cycle. Having said all that, post-narcissistic relationship ending, there's a long period of time, a real long period of time. And please, if you know what I'm talking about, please drop comments below. When you're missing the narcissist. Now, there are different elements to this. Are you actually missing the narcissist themselves? Meaning the person that abused you and that took advantage of you and manipulated you and essentially destroyed you, probably discarded you? Or are you missing the person who you thought you were in love with? You see, that's where the cognitive dissonance comes in, and that's where so many different layers to this question need to be addressed. I'm not going to get all scientific on you, and I'm not going to use many terms or definitions. I'm just going to let you know from experience that yes, there will be a long period of time after the relationship ends that you will be missing the narcissist. And the reasons why include this. When you were with the narcissist, you were constantly you were on the go. You were on eggshells. You were always bouncing around doing things. You were on high alert. And this is, not only is it not a healthy aspect of a relationship, it's just not good. The human body was meant to be walking around on eggshells or high alert, like in fight or flight times, meaning like, let's say there's a tiger chasing you or a lion. Well, that's fight or flight. I mean, what are you going to do? When you're in any narcissistic relationship, that's most likely how you spend most of your days, just like that, wondering what the narcissist will say, do, act, behave, how they will demean you, diminish you, gaslight you, things like that. But when the relationship ended, you were accustomed to that and you were used to it. So that could be one reason why you're missing the narcissist. If you really think about it, it's completely accurate. Another reason is you fell in love with somebody who wasn't genuine, and you wanted to believe that that person actually does exist. They don't. That person was just a person wearing a mask who was fooling you and fooling all of us in our relationships into believing that we actually did find true love, we did fall in love, and that this person did have our backs, and that they did want to grow with us and move forward and create a bright, beautiful future. They didn't. Another reason you may be still missing the narcissist is because all of your hopes and dreams and aspirations, all the things that you were working towards, all the goals that you were hoping to achieve with them, all the future plans, all the things that on this narcissistic channel and many others we call future faking. Most of them probably didn't happen. Maybe some of them did, but I'm certain a lot of them didn't happen. And see, that's another way the narcissist entangles people in their spider web of lies and destruction, by future faking, by promising things that will happen down the road, but of course they never do because they have no intention of fulfilling them. Maybe you fell in love with that. Another way you may be missing the narcissist is, sincerely, this will be tough, but maybe you just don't want to admit it. You don't want to admit that the relationship wasn't authentic, it wasn't real. Now, on your part, it was, but it's hard for you to accept the fact that the narcissist didn't love you and they didn't care about you. And when they showed their true colors at the end of the relationship, it's difficult for you to process that. It really is. It's extremely difficult for people to process that. But that could be another reason. There are so many more layers and so many more reasons why you could still be missing the narcissist. And remember, on the healing path, we take our time. We embrace our emotions. We feel things. Our job to fully become healed and aware and educated is to embrace each and every emotion we feel post-narcissistic relationship, because we need to heal. That's why we're on the channel, to become educated and aware and enlightened. Because this is how we process things. This is how we grow. This is how we understand what has happened to us in the narcissistic relationship. Keep in mind, the narcissist doesn't do this. They just jump from person to person, manipulating more and more, destroying more lives, blowing up relationships, taking, rinse, wash, repeat. That's what they do. But getting back on track, why you may be missing the narcissist, it could be all of these things. Maybe you're still in love with them. Now keep in mind, I'm not trying to trigger anybody or anything, but there's a very good chance that perhaps you are still in love with them on some capacity. Yes, I did say that, and I mentioned in the beginning of the video that this would be a tough video to do, and I believe it is a tough video to do, but I'm telling you firsthand experience, just what it's like. So maybe you are still in love with them to some capacity, or maybe you were. Maybe you now have the education and you understand, wow, like keep in mind your healing path, if it's been a week, a month, 2 years, whatever, the narcissist is always going to be in the back of your mind, no matter what. It's just the way it is. It's the connection. It's the energy connection you have. But when the relationship ended recently, I'm certain you're still in love with them, and you find it hard to believe that they're treating you this way. But that's part of the learning path. That's part of the learning curve. After many months, let's say 14, 15 months, a year, whatever your time frame is, you realize exactly the relationship you were in, and that in fact you aren't in love with them. You were during the relationship and you gave to a fault, but now you see exactly what they're about, and you see the way they behave and treated you and others, and most importantly, you became educated. And again, you're on the channel, so thank you for being here. But when you get to that point, you get to the point of indifference, the mountaintop, the pinnacle, that's when you finally understand, wow, do I miss them? No, I sincerely don't. Do I miss the times and all the time we spent together and the memories and everything? You could honestly say, from my experience, yeah, I do miss some of those times, but were they authentic and genuine? For the narcissist, absolutely not. For me, yes. Would I want to continue my life going through life with somebody like that? No way. Absolutely not. I deserve so much better, and so do you. But other reasons you may be missing the narcissist may include that you just didn't want to give up on the relationship. You didn't want to give up on them, and you. It's not that you looked at things as a failure, but I'm sure there were times you did look at parts of this as a failure. But what you did was you said, no, I still think I can fix them. I still believe in them, and you didn't want to let that go. See, you were clinging on to that breadcrumb of hope, or of love, or of just unity with the narcissist. Again, keep in mind that won't happen. After the love bomb stage, all you do is get breadcrumbs of hope that will never return. Because the love bomb, again, was a facade. It wasn't real. It wasn't a genuine person who wanted you to be happy. They were just trying to sink their fangs into you to keep you in the relationship as long as possible. But when the relationship is over and you're missing the narcissist, it can be very difficult. It can be extremely difficult, and I understand this clearly. We're all on our different paths headed in the same direction. Remember that. But what we need to also understand is that everybody heals in different time frames. Whereas one person, it may take them 3 months, maybe someone else it takes them 3 years. There's no rush. It's not a race. When you're ready, you're ready. But I'm suggesting in this video that you come to terms that the narcissistic relationship was manipulating, it was abusive, it was destructive, it was not healthy, and there was nothing good at all that happened in it for you. It didn't benefit you one bit. It actually benefited the narcissist and their selfish needs and their selfish desires. And keep this in mind. On the channel, many times I mention this. When the narcissistic relationship ended, whether you were discarded or you ended it, keep in mind how the narcissist behaved or how they treated you, or their radio silence. That speaks volumes. It really speaks volumes. So when you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I still miss the narcissist, I can't get them out of my head, or things like that, I understand. But just think of all the times that they did not treat you properly, that they financially abused you, mentally abused you, spiritually abused you socially, any way possible, triangulation, all the terms we talk about on the channel. A healthy individual wouldn't do that. You see, a healthy individual would have your back, and they would sit down and have that cup of coffee with you and ask you, hey, how's your day today? How are you? They would put their cell phones down and just be with you. Maybe they would snuggle up on the couch and just be one for an hour or two and just fall asleep in your arms, things like that. These things most likely didn't happen with the narcissist. I'm not saying they didn't happen, but I would say that if they did happen, there was a purpose behind them. You see, the narcissist most likely had an ulterior motive. They wanted something from you, so they would feign affection with you and display some emotions that they know would play on your heartstrings so that you would give them what they wanted eventually. That's how the narcissist works. That's the shapeshifter that they are. They're always manipulating, always doing things to get what they want, never concerned with you. Remember, the narcissist is a taker. That's what they do. They take and take, and when they're done, yes, they take more. So when you're missing the narcissist post-narcissistic relationship, it's natural, it's understandable. We all go through it. And for months and months and months, if your relationship just ended, let's say it ended a month ago, yes, it's only natural. Think about how long you were with the narcissist. Maybe you were with them for a couple years, maybe it was 30 years, I don't know. But the longer you were with them, the more emotional ties you have to them, and the more experiences you have with them, and the more things you shared with them. And keep in mind, your experiences in the sharing of everything with the narcissist, your recollection is completely different than the narcissist. And the reason why that is because you're a beautiful, bright light, you're a shining empath, and you cared and you wanted to, and you would look at their face and watch them, and you'd be glowing like, wow, I'm really with this special person that I'm in love with. This is incredible. What were they thinking at that time? I can't tell you. That's for you to figure out. But if they were on their phone getting other supply, or maybe, pushing you away or whatever, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So guys, before I close the video out, I wanted to let you know that yes, after the relationship ends, there will be plenty of time when you're missing the narcissist. It's natural. It's part of the healing path. It's part of your growth. It's part of your education and your discovery. Don't be ashamed. Embrace it. Hold true. Believe me when I tell you, the healing path is long. It's not linear. It takes time. And in your time, you will find out exactly where you are each and every day on your path. So if you're still missing them, maybe some of you still love the narcissist. I get it. I understand completely. That's part of life. That's it. I am also going to suggest this before I close the video. If your relationship ended years ago and you haven't been able to move on, it's time to move on, because you do need to let go of the past eventually. The only way you can move forward is by living in the present moment, having a plan, knowing what you want to do, and aiming for it and going for it on your own time. We don't want to be ruminating, thinking about the past each and every day, because if you're living in the past, you can never move forward. Play that again. It's 100% real. So one more time, if the relationship ended recently, take your time. I understand you're ruminating, you're thinking, you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I get it. There's no rush. Take your time, heal. But if you've been out of the relationship for a good amount of time, and you know what that amount of time is, and you're still thinking about the past, and you're still ruminating or wishing things would change, no. You need to move forward. You need to. Why am I telling you that? Because again, it's not healthy to be living in the past. If you're living in the past, you're stuck in the past and you cannot move forward. But number two, and this is going to be a little tough love for you, the narcissist has already moved on a long time ago to the new supply. And if your relationship ended, let's say a couple years ago, there's a very good chance that the narcissist has had a couple sources of supply, if you understand what I'm saying. And if you're still stuck in the past when you were, say years ago when you were with the narcissist, this isn't healthy. It's not allowing you to grow and to move forward. So guys, that's it. I hope you liked the video. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Remember, if you're finding you're missing the narcissist, I understand it. Just figure out where you are in the healing path and understand that there will come a time when that won't happen any longer. You will be at the pinnacle, the mountaintop of indifference. And that's when you're free. That's when you're like, got it, no problem, I understand. So guys, I hope you liked the video. I love doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Enjoy your day. I'll talk to you very soon. I love you. Bye-bye.